What if I told you that your self-esteem determines everything? Your success, your happiness, and even the quality of your relationships. Think about it. The way you see yourself shapes every decision you make. But here's the thing. Most people don't truly understand self-esteem. They think it's about positive affirmations, but in reality, self-esteem is built on actions, habits, and deep self-awareness. Today, we're diving into the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden, a blueprint for building real, unshakable confidence. But before we begin, let me ask you, what's holding you back? Is it fear, doubt, the feeling that you're not enough? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have 6 powerful principles that can change how you see yourself and how the world sees you. Imagine 2 people waking up in the morning. One mindlessly scrolls through their phone, rushes through breakfast, and arrives at work already exhausted. The other takes a moment to reflect, set an intention for the day, and approaches each task with focus. The difference? One is living on autopilot, while the other is living consciously, the first pillar of self-esteem. Living consciously means being present, aware, and actively engaging with life. It's about accepting reality as it is, the good, the bad, and the uncomfortable. Too often, people escape into distractions to avoid facing their true emotions. But when you embrace reality, you gain control. Self-esteem isn't about ignoring your flaws. It's about acknowledging them and making intentional choices to grow. A great example of this is how people handle criticism. A person with low self-esteem may react defensively or ignore feedback entirely. But someone living consciously listens, processes, and improves. They understand that awareness is the first step to self-mastery. So ask yourself, are you actively shaping your life, or are you just drifting? Here's a paradox. The more you accept yourself, the easier it becomes to change. Most people think self-acceptance means staying the same, but that's a myth. True self-acceptance is the foundation of self-improvement. Nathaniel Branden emphasizes that rejecting parts of yourself, your past mistakes, insecurities, or perceived weaknesses, creates internal conflict. The person who can own their flaws without shame is the one who can actually grow. Imagine someone who constantly criticizes themselves for being socially awkward. The more they reject this part of themselves, the harder it becomes to improve. But when they say, yes, I struggle socially and that's okay, they release the emotional resistance and create space for real change. Self-acceptance doesn't mean ignoring your problems. It means facing them without self-hatred. The key is to treat yourself like a best friend. Acknowledge your struggles, but never abandon yourself in the process. Think about it. If you don't have your own back, who will? We live in a world where it's easy to blame external factors, bad luck, toxic people, an unfair system. But here's the hard truth. No one is coming to save you. Your life is 100% your responsibility. This is the 3rd pillar of self-esteem. Taking responsibility means realizing that everything in your life, your health, your career, your happiness, is ultimately in your hands. Many people fall into the trap of excuses. They blame their lack of confidence on childhood experiences or past failures. But the moment you say, I am responsible for changing this, you reclaim your power. Consider fitness. A person who constantly blames genetics or a slow metabolism will never make progress. But someone who takes responsibility for their health, even if they have obstacles, can find solutions, adapt, and improve. The same applies to everything in life. So ask yourself, are you taking full ownership of your life, or are you giving your power away? How often do you suppress your thoughts, hold back your opinions, or say yes when you want to say no? Self-assertiveness, the 4th pillar of self-esteem, is the ability to stand up for who you are and what you believe in. There's a common misconception that being assertive means being aggressive or rude. But real self-assertiveness is about respecting yourself enough to express your truth. It's about aligning your actions with your values. A simple example: imagine a person who doesn't drink alcohol but constantly gives in to social pressure. Over time, this erodes their self-respect. But when they confidently say, "No thanks, I don't drink," they reinforce their integrity and build self-esteem. Being assertive doesn't mean arguing with everyone. It means being authentic and unapologetic about your beliefs. So next time you hesitate to speak up, remember, your voice matters. Use it. Look at the happiest, most fulfilled people in the world. They all have one thing in common: a clear sense of purpose. Living purposefully, the fifth pillar, is about actively working toward meaningful goals rather than drifting through life. An entrepreneur who wakes up every day excited to build their business has higher self-esteem than someone who just goes through the motions. Why? Because purpose gives life meaning. Without it, people feel lost and unmotivated. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It could be mastering a skill, creating art, or helping others. The key is to set goals that challenge and excite you. Because when you move with purpose, you build confidence, not just in what you do, but in who you are. Imagine promising yourself you'll wake up early, eat healthy, or stay off social media, but breaking those promises daily. Over time, this chips away at your self-esteem. Why? Because integrity, the sixth pillar, is about keeping your word to yourself. Personal integrity means living in alignment with your values. It's about doing what you say you will do. When you act against your own beliefs, your inner voice whispers, "You're not trustworthy." And the more you betray yourself, the harder it becomes to feel confident. But when you consistently follow through, no matter how small, you build trust in yourself. So if you say, "I'll work out tomorrow," keep that promise. Because every time you do, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, and that's how real self-esteem is built. Personal integrity is important for self-esteem, because if one acts against their own beliefs, their inner voice will tell them they are worthless. And this inner voice is what matters the most when it comes to self-esteem. Self-esteem isn't something you're born with. It's something you build day by day through conscious action. The 6 pillars aren't quick fixes, they're lifelong practices. But the more you integrate them into your life, the more unshakable your confidence will become. So tell me, which of these pillars do you struggle with the most? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video valuable, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because at the end of the day, the way you see yourself shapes your entire life. So make it a vision worth believing in.